Hello, welcome back to JM Football, and welcome to the final week of divisional previews. And we are doing the AFC West today. Don't feel the impromptu question. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this. Is the AFC West the deepest division in football? Because we did the NFC North, and we said that. But honestly,
it's the AFC West.
Honestly, is it the AFC West?
I'm very curious to see how the bottom part of the division plays out, like in the Raiders, but I really think so. If the Raiders take a step up with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, which we'll talk about later, this could be the best division in football. There could be some regression in the NFC North. So yeah, I'll say the AFC West. Let's play some ball.
Raiders and Bears play each other tomorrow. Who wins?
It's
a tough one, but
I would give it a slight edge to the Raiders strictly because of Pete Carroll just being a head coach in the past.
Right. So, I mean, the AFC North would be that if the Browns weren't the Browns and competing for Arch Manning for the next 2 years, or whoever's going to be the number one quarterback coming out of next year's class. But let's start off with the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. They finished the year 15-2. They lost in the Super Bowl to the Philadelphia Eagles by a score of 40-22. They were 9th in offensive EPA per play, 10th in EPA per dropback, 13th in EPA per rush. They were 15th on defense, 15th in EPA per dropback, 11th in EPA per rush. Dalt, the Chiefs have witchcraft going on.
Yep.
I think that's the only way to really convince yourself as to why they're this good, despite a lot of evidence telling you that they really shouldn't be. They just run plays between 4 to 9 yards on offense. That's like what they do. They're not explosive anymore. Patrick Mahomes has gone from the quarterback that's slinging it around the yard in 2018, 2019, 2020 to now he literally has the lowest average air yards per attempt in the NFL. He is the most conservative quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the numbers back that up. And defensively, even though they weren't as dominant last year as what they were the previous year, they still find a way to win 15 games. They win all these one-score games and all this regression, and you're going to lose these one-score games. Well, the Chiefs don't do that. But are they going to take a step back this year?
I don't know if a step back is the proper way to put it, but you alluded to my 2 big points on the offensive side of the ball, so I'll give you my third too. But number one, the one-score games, and part of it is luck. Like we always talk about, if you flip these one-score games,
witchcraft.
Your record could have been X, Y, Z. But that said, one of the reasons why the Chiefs were 11-0, never lost in one-score games last year, part of it is because just the experience that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have, right? Like you have to give some credit to, hey, they've been in positions where it's tight games or it's games that have like the biggest impact and meaning, and they just find ways to win games. That's what the Chiefs have done over the last 7 years with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. And I think the other big point that you mentioned was that air yards, man. Like they do not throw the ball downfield.
No.
The defenses have adapted to where, okay, we're going to go 2 shell high. We're going to make you throw it underneath. And the Chiefs adopted an offense where that's exactly what they're going to do. Warren Sharp, always shout him out because I love reading about his in-depth breakdowns for each team. This is since 2019. The 2024 Chiefs ranked 189th out of 192 in passes thrown 15-plus air yards down the field. They were second out of 192 in throws behind or at the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Basically proves your point, Justin Penik. They did not push the ball down the field because teams were challenging them not to, and they did it, and their offense did work. The other big point, and I'm really curious to see what happens this year, Justin Penik, is rates going from first down to third down. So can we avoid third downs?
Yeah.
The Chiefs did a fantastic job. They were best in converting on third downs, but they had way more than they had in years past. In 2022, they had the fewest third down plays percentage, 35%. Last year, 47%, which was middle of the pack, a huge jump over the last 2 years. So one of my biggest things to watch for this Chiefs offense outside of, is Mahomes going to have this witchcraft is can they avoid third downs? They were not nearly as efficient running the ball. Pacheco gets hurt early in the year. They bring Kareem Hunt. I think Pacheco is a dog when he's healthy, but I think the biggest thing to look for all the Chiefs magic and whatnot is can they avoid third downs? Can the run game just get going?
Yeah. And I think you hit the nail on the head in the beginning about talking about Andy Reid and Mahomes. But, I mean, especially there's the big 4 in the NFL, right? There's Burrow, there's Allen, there's Lamar, and there's Mahomes. There's the big 4. And as long as the rosters are somewhat functional, those quarterbacks are going to lead their teams to success. And I think Mahomes has evolved as his career has gone on, where Burrow, you see the magic time and time again. Lamar, you see the magic time and time again. Josh Allen does, he has a receiving touchdown and a passing touchdown on the same play and all that kind of shit, right?
Right.
Now, Mahomes had that. He even shows flashes of it, but, thinking of his personnel and how that's evolved since Tyreek Hill has left, it's gotten worse and it hasn't gotten better. Xavier Worthy, really overblown, overrated rookie season, in my opinion, but still, they need to throw him the ball deep more.
Okay.
They're just inevitable, man. So everybody's trying to find ways, and that is what media has done, and as the Chiefs have become this Patriots-like name, Patriots-like dynasty, everybody has tried to search and look for reasons as to why this team will not meet the expectations that they should, and they hit every mark because they're inevitable, because Mahomes is that good. Even if it isn't flashy anymore, he's still that good.
And he can still be flashy, too.
Yes, and he can.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, the second that teams are going to start to respect the run game a little bit more.
If they roll safety down,
I dare you. I dare you against Patrick Mahomes to put single high safety and try blitzing. You can't blitz him.
And can I say, off of that point, Justin, I'm really curious to see. You've mentioned the personnel changes in the Chiefs offense. I'm curious if they start to roll safety down to play the run game and defend the box, which I don't think they have to do because the Chiefs haven't proven to be able to run the ball yet. But if they did in this hypothetical, I don't know who is the vertical threat that can actually win downfield. That used to be Tyreek Hill. Is it going to be Hollywood Brown? Does he still have?
He's the X factor this year.
Does he still have it in his bag? Are they going to use Worthy in more of that realm down the field too? I am super curious, and I do want to counter one thing, or I just want to pose this question: Xavier Worthy, overrated rookie year. Why is that? Because my only thought is you have Rashee Rice that gets injured basically week 4, week 5. Early in the year, Xavier Worthy goes from being like the number 2, number 3 option to being the number 1 guy because Hollywood Brown is also out for a majority of the season as well.
I think there's advanced numbers that I don't have prepared that I think he wasn't as efficient as people might think. 10.8 yards per reception isn't that high for a guy that's supposed to be a speed guy and the deep guy, and a 60% catch rate is pretty low. Especially. Again, he was supposed to be like the number 1 wide receiver on that team, right?
Number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
I would say 2.
59 catches for not even 650 yards. That's this guy's rookie year, and I think people are really overinflating what he did. Is it fine, especially for this Chiefs offense that we just spent the last couple minutes talking about how teams refuse to let you throw deep?
Yeah.
I think it's fine, but I do think people are acting like Xavier Worthy had some overly great rookie year when that's not the case. 60 catches, not even 650 yards,
right,
with 10.8 yards per reception isn't anything tremendously flashy, right? Hollywood Brown I view as an X factor of this offense that I think he can increase the floor. I don't know, if Hollywood Brown is a nothing and if he's a dud, it's not going to increase. It's not going to increase the floor. But he will increase the ceiling of this offense.
Okay.
That's what Hollywood Brown can do. Because if you have 2 Xavier Worthy speed, which you do have to respect, and Hollywood Brown speed and that deep ability, if there are 2 guys out there that can do it, then you're going to have to respect it. And even when you're running too high, you still should try. You still should try to go vertical down the field and get explosive plays. Because I just don't know. Is this 4 to 9 yard offense, 4 to 9 yard chunk offense, how long is it really going to last and get you places, especially when they lose such a pivotal piece on the offensive line like Joe Thuney? And that offensive line is quite suspect. The only time that Patrick Mahomes has ever lost in his postseason career.
We've mentioned this, absolutely. Go for it.
Is when his offensive line is in shambles and defenses and quarterbacks are able to hit him and put him on the ground. That is the only time that this guy will lose when the weather gets cold and in the months of January and February.
I will say losing Chooney is going to be interesting to see, and you also have your guy Jawan Taylor at right tackle still. That's going to be that's always
overpaid.
Always an adventure. It's funny because my quick X factor was the other receiver in the receiving room. It's Rashee Rice, because as we record this on August 26th, I'm very curious to see what's the suspension going to be, because he has his hearing on September 30th, so he's going to play the first 3 to 4 weeks. Then he'll have that hearing. And I believe it was originally 8, brought down to 6. I'm curious to see, will it stay at 6 games? Will it go to 4 games? Will it be 3? Will it stay at 6? I think
as
Rashee
long as
Rice,
he's back by December.
and he will be, but like middle of the year, like the Chiefs' offense could not look nearly as pretty as it could be with Rashee Rice on the field because his first season was very impressive too. Like Rashee Rice, I think, I don't know why, and maybe it's because he was playing with Patrick Mahomes, but like Rashee Rice, we've talked about that revolving door in the offense. Like he put up almost 1,000 yards and started 8 games. Like he played in all 16.
It's crazy.
He didn't start. Defensively, I really have nothing much to talk about because they're basically running the same unit back. I mean, they lost Justin Reed and Josh Uche. Besides that,
my guy Wharton killed it in the Super Bowl.
Deshaun Watt, right? He signs that deal with Carolina. Sure,
yeah.
Sure.
He had a pretty solid year. So their interior's a little questionable outside of Chris Jones. Still love their linebackers, man.
Yeah, Nick Bolton's awesome. You love Leo Chanel. Always have been, always will be.
Where did he go?
Where did he go?
Is he here? Oh, he's there. No, he's there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not okay.
I'm looking at a depth chart, and he's right in front of me, and I don't even see him. Yeah, so the defense is still good.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be 2023 good, but they're, the AFC, they're inevitable, man, because they're the Chiefs, whether you like it or not. So their over-under is at 11.5. Over. This team is not losing. If they go, it's 11-6, right?
Yeah,
they're not losing.
They have to go 12-5.
Yeah.
I am thinking about it, and I only have one reason why I'm looking at it. I just want to see. Over. I just want to see what the schedule's like. I was curious. I think, how about this, Justin Penik?
They're playing the NFC East.
How about this? Oh, if Rashee Rice's suspension was in the beginning of the year, I'd feel very good about this. This is their schedule through the first. Their first.
Giants could beat them Sunday night.
They're going to go on a run the end of the year. I'll tell you this. The Chiefs, beginning of the schedule is tough. The first 9 games.
Giants.
Chargers, Eagles. I'm ignoring you. Chargers, Eagles, Giants, Ravens, Jaguars, Detroit, Vegas, Washington, Buffalo. Those 9 games, like, some of those Rashee Rice is going to be suspended for. I think they're going to be 4-5. I think
Doesn't matter.
I agree.
They're going to win.
I'm going to say the over. They're going to win 12 games. I really don't want to say the over. Like, if they lose to Philly, Baltimore, Detroit, Washington, Buffalo, that's 5 losses right there to begin the year. Then they'll
lose to Buffalo. That's it.
Really? So you say they're going to be 8-1?
No, Buffalo's like the only game that
it's at Buffalo.
So they'll be favored because they own them in the regular season.
Yeah.
But the rest of those games, they should be favored.
End of the year, though, it's Denver, Indy, Dallas, Houston, Chargers, Tennessee, Denver, Vegas.
Yeah, they'll pick it up.
Easy end of the year.
They'll pick it up.
12-5 on the money.
All right. Chargers are next. They finished the year 11-6. They lost in the wild card round to the Texans in a bad game.
Yeah, Herbert's worst game of the year.
Game that they really should have taken care of business, but there's inevitably questions about Justin Herbert playing when it matters most and playing well when it matters most in the fourth quarter and also, I guess, even in the postseason too. But they were 12th in offensive EPA per play, 12th in EPA per dropback, 18th in EPA per rush. Their defense was really, really good. 5th in defensive EPA per play, 5th in EPA per dropback, and 9th in EPA per rush. So I say that little Herbert joke, a little tongue-in-cheek. It is serious when it comes to Herbert, like why Herbert isn't considered more or less as part of the Big Four. I do think it's, hey, those quarterbacks are good in the clutch, and they've shown that they can kind of carry their teams. And last year was a much better situation, obviously, for Justin Herbert. And the Chargers still deserve a lot of credit, though, for really elevating a roster that was not good. And I thought they had a really, really good offseason. And I'm excited for the Chargers. I'm really excited about all 4 of these teams. It's going to be tough to pick who should finish second, third, fourth, at least in my opinion, or even for you, who should finish first.
I love the Chargers. I am a little worried about the Chargers, and I might get into that a little bit. But I think one of the biggest things with the Chargers, bringing in Jim Harbaugh was a game changer. I feel like Chargers have always had a disadvantage, especially in the AFC West, in terms of head coaching. Like, no offense to Anthony Lynn and Brandon Staley. I'm sorry, but like, you guys, it was getting outcoached game by game. Last year, the Chargers were 31st in penalties per game. The offense, fewest penalties per game. Third down penalties, fewest per game. So the Chargers, very disciplined unit. Didn't have too many penalties.
Herbert didn't turn over the ball. Herbert didn't get sacked outside of the wild card game.
Herbert had his best interception percentage, yards per attempt, yards per completion. He was very efficient. They didn't have too many penalties. And the Chargers were winning games going into the fourth quarter a lot. They were 12-3-2 heading into the fourth quarter. It's the second best mark in football last year. So they were, controlling the game, controlling the time of possession. I love it. Like, I love all of that. Where my concern lies is more actually on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
The quarterbacks they play, Justin Penik. You ready? Here
Yeah.
we go. And no disrespect to Jesse Minter in the defense either, but here's my question. You ready? Week 1, Gardner Minshew. Week 2, Bryce Young, who got benched. Week 3, Justin Fields, who got benched. Week 4, I'll skip that. Let's go for the bad ones. Week 6, Bo Nix, rookie year. Didn't click yet. Week 8, Jake Harringer and Spencer Rattler, both backups. Week 9, Jameis Winston, backup. Week 10, Will Levis, backup. Week 13, Kirk Cousins got benched. Week 16, Bo Nix, another rookie. Week 17, Drake May, towards the end of the year. Week 18, Aiden O'Connell. That is 11 games versus either backup quarterbacks, players who got benched, and rookies. The other 6 quarterbacks they faced, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield. They went 1-5 in those games. Wow. So when they're playing against competent quarterbacks, the Chargers did have their struggles. I know the defense was a lot better last year when Jesse Minter took over, and they won a lot more games. I'm very curious to see how this entire team, offensively and defensively, looks when they face competent competition.
Yeah. And I think what it comes down to when you play better football teams, right? When you play the bad teams, I think coaching really matters, and Jimmy's and Joe's always matters. But when it comes down to postseason football, like, can the Chargers win in January and February? That's like the question, because we know that Jim Harbaugh is going to lead a good football team. We know that he's going to lead a team that's very disciplined. Yeah. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes. They're not going to penalize themselves. They're not going to shoot themselves in the foot. But do the Chargers have the manpower right now? Especially, like, offensive line, I think they do. Skill position, different conversation. Justin Herbert in the clutch and in the fourth quarter, he has yet to prove that he can reach that mark at a spot where he's good. But pass rush, that's the shit that wins in the postseason. Pass rush and defensive line and front seven. I don't know if they have that. Khalil Mack is 34, and he is not what he once was, and you're going to wait for him to eventually take that step down. And nobody else really sticks out. I like Thule, but he's pressure rate, he wasn't that great. So, I don't know, man. It's such a shame that we kind of have to, as we talk about getting excited about these AFC West teams, it's a shame that you kind of have to shit on them a little bit too, because they're all going to beat up on each other. They're all going to beat up on each other.
Absolutely.
You put the Chargers, if the Chargers were somehow in the AFC East, oh my God, we're sitting here being like, oh, they're gonna prance into the wild card round, and they're gonna have a playoff game, and we're gonna get excited. But really, all 4 of these teams, because of how close the competition is, you kind of have to nitpick them a little bit, and that kind of sucks, because I think the Chargers are heading in the right direction. So even if it's not this year, even if it's not this year that they turn everything around, I think you should feel very excited as a Chargers fan. Ladd McConkey's awesome. They have to work on receivers. Trey Harris in the second round is an iffy pick, but I'm not doubting their scouting department based on what they did last year. I think they hit the draft out of the park, and like Cam Hart defensively, corner as a 5th round pick last year was a slam dunk. So Dalton, man, anything else before we get to over-under X Factor?
To your point too, just to emphasize it, last year they were 6th in sacks. They were 19th in pressure percentage. So you're getting home to the quarterback. You weren't consistently getting pressure. You lose Joey Bosa. Sacks are indicative to pressure rate, right? Like, it's very a predictive stat where if you're creating more pressure, you're more likely to get sacks. Yeah. Last year they got the sacks. They didn't get the pressure rate. So I'm wondering if that sack number falls from grace a little bit, because that pressure rate was more league average than top 10.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have an X Factor necessarily?
My X Factor is an injury. It's Rashawn Slater. He suffers a season-ending torn patellar tendon during practice. Offensive line, you mentioned it was good. He is one of the best left tackles in football.
Yeah,
so
Joe
now you're
Walt's really good too.
You're going to slide him over to left tackle. That means Trey Pipkins is going to come back in, which we've seen him have his problems when he's had to play for the Chargers. I'm curious to see how the Slater injury affects the rest of the Chargers offensive line and the offense, because it sucks, man.
Mekhi Becton back to tackle.
No way. You got to keep him at guard, I think, right? He was so good at right guard last year. Have to.
In a pinch.
I know.
In a pinch. Their over-unders at 9.5.
3, 2, 1. Under. Oh. You said under 2? I thought you were going to say over. You're no fun.
I don't like assigning over-unders to this division, because I like all 4 of these teams.
Yeah.
their nitpicks. I really like Justin Herbert too, even though I've kind of shat on him a little bit.
I love Justin Herbert. He should be, and Penik, I think the biggest thing is he should be on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks right now. Like, he could be in that big four, but he's Mr. If. Like, that's the meme, right?
Yeah.
I want to see him do it, especially in the big moments. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Fourth quarter, numbers are not very good.
Yeah.
Accuracy and EPA per play and all that stuff that you look at, yards per attempt, it's not good in the fourth quarter. And when it's a game-neutral situation, when you're down by 8 or up by 8, in between that range of outcomes, he hasn't been very good. I really hope he figures it out. But also, get him some more weapons, man, because old man Keenan Allen running around in there, and Trey Harris, who I don't really love as a prospect, but Ladd McConkey's really good.
Keenan, we'll see. I think he's still got a little juice left.
I mean, what a crazy rookie year from Ladd. 14 yards per reception, 73% catch rate as well.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. All right, moving on to the Denver Broncos. They finished 12-7. They lost in the wild card round to the Buffalo Bills.
Wait, do it again. 12-7.
Oh. Moving on to the Denver Broncos. They finished with a 10-7 record. They lost in the wild card round to the Bills by a score of 31-7. And they were pretty average offensively. 16th in offensive EPA per play, 17th in EPA per dropback, 17th in EPA per rush. I think towards the back end of the year, those numbers got a little bit better, though, if you look at the first half, second half splits. But the defense, though, first in defensive EPA per play, first against the pass, and fourth against the run. Dalton Philly, during our TPPs last year, I got to pat myself on the back a little bit because I talked about this defense. And I said, this pass rush, man, I don't know if there's any, names on it that are like household names, but if you put all the names together, it's one of the best pass rushes in the league. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think they would have the best defense in football last year, but I knew that defense was going to carry them places if they were going to go places. And man, they certainly did. But also, Bo Nix has a really good NFL arm. And I don't know if I didn't think I'd be saying that after year one. I thought I'd be saying that Bo Nix is efficient and him and Sean Payton are a good match with each other, which I think that still is true. But seeing some of these big arm NFL throws that Bo Nix made, throwing guys open and throwing with anticipation, ripping the ball down the middle of the field, that's the shit I didn't expect.
I'm impressed with his anticipation for sure. Arm velocity, that's more a caveat for a quarterback. I think your timing and accuracy has to be the most important trait you have to be an NFL quarterback, because those windows in the NFL versus college completely different. And he did a really good job with those tight window throws. But Justin Penik, I am so bullish on the Denver Broncos. I love the Denver Broncos this year. I think there are two things that get me going a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Number one, the one-score games. We talked about it for the Chiefs, right? And for the Broncos, it's the other way around. Number one, the one-score games. We talk about the one-score games. The Broncos were 1-6 last year in one possession games, one-score games. Second worst in football behind the New York Giants. Shout out Justin Penik.
Oh, so it's bound to get better. That's what you're saying.
It could get better, yeah. 100%. It could. Better quarterback, too.
That's what I also don't like about the one-score game shit. It's always going to get better for the teams that aren't good, and it's always going to get worse for the teams that had it good the year prior.
More likely. The odds of being... Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
You nailed it. It's important context, but...
You nailed that
logic.
Also,
every year, it's the same shit over and over again. And you know what? It's the NFL, man. This isn't college. Every game is going to be close.
Well, that's the parity of the NFL, too. I think that's why football is such a great sport, because per year, there's so... Outside of the Chiefs being inevitable for the most part, a lot of things within the season changes. But number two, Justin Penik, and the thing that surprised me more, because I knew the Broncos were losing these one-score games, it's man, if they win a couple of these, they could have won the West last year with rookie quarterback Bo Nix. But number two, Denver Broncos had 7 wins by 14 or more points. That was most in football last year, and that was shocking to me. To have a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix who finished the year very strong, throwing multiple touchdowns in 7 of the last 8 games he played, for them to win dominant games, obviously in part by this dominant defense as well. Super impressive in Sean Payton's. Am I getting this wrong? His first year, second year? Now I'm blanking.
Second year.
Second year, first year with Bo Nix. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Denver Broncos. I'm very excited for them this year.
Let's go toe for toe here and compare them to the Chargers.
Sure.
Quarterback, you take Herbert.
I would take Herbert.
Running back room, I think you take Amari and Hampton.
I would too. You move on from J.K. Dobbins for that reason, right? We haven't seen Omarion, but I take the Chargers.
Yeah, we like R.J. Harvey, but it's close. Wide receivers.
And both of them suck. Both their rooms stink.
I mean, I feel like it almost comes down to I think Denver's depth is a little bit better.
Do we want to go targets?
But also I think I'd like Ladd a little bit more than Cortland Sutton.
I'm going Denver's targets. I'm including Evan Ingram in this.
Oh, they include tight ends.
So I would say the Broncos because I think Evan Ingram's going to have another big year.
Okay. Offensive line, clearly it's the
Denver.
Broncos.
Not even close. Denver.
Pass rush, clearly Broncos.
Clearly Denver.
Secondary, clearly
Denver.
Clearly Denver.
I mean, Derwin James is awesome, but besides that, like they're young back there.
Head coach.
Linebackers, I would say Denver too.
Yeah. Head coach, I think I give the nod to Harbaugh, but it's close.
Oh. Interesting. I would say Sean Payton, and we talked about this a little bit off camera. What did you mention about Jim Harbaugh?
Well, I think there's inevitably a ceiling, a question about ceiling with Jim Harbaugh-led teams. And the only time that his team that he was coaching did reach the promised land is when he was supposedly cheating. So,
yeah, there's some question marks.
But I hate hating on that because I like Harbaugh wins, man.
Harbaugh wins until he doesn't. Joe's McFly. Denver Broncos. But going back off, because we just talked about the Chargers. Denver Broncos. The last point I want to make on the offensive side of the ball before we shift to the defense really quickly. The Broncos offensive line was like really, really good last year. In fact, by ESPN win rate, they were number one in both pass blocking and run blocking. You're going to set up your quarterback to have a very good rookie season if you're protecting this man. And boy, when they protected Bo Nix, did he play lights out? I think you improved the run game. You signed J.K. Dobbins from the Chargers to your team now in Denver. You bring in R.J. Harvey from the draft. I'm very curious to see how this 1-2 split works. You still have Jaleel McLaughlin. So this running game could be very, very efficient in comparison to what it was last year with Javonte Williams in that mix.
This defense just kicks ass.
Kicks ass.
This defense kicks ass. They blitz. They put the quarterback on the ground, and I think it will be part of the movement back that we will eventually see in the NFL, since the NFL is a cyclical game.
Yeah.
I think the Brian Flores type defenses, Wink Martindale when he was in the NFL too, Denver-led defenses will start to make more of a comeback in the NFL as these defenses like the Vikings, like the Broncos, they're dominating in the ways that they are. And, you could say that's, scheme that it's good, right? But they also have the pass rush that is so deep, that is so complete. I love Nick Bonito. Zach Allen proved that he's one of the more disruptive interior defensive linemen in the league last year. And then, of course, in the secondary, it's led by Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain, who locks down wide receiver ones in a conference that is filled with very, very good wide receivers.
I love the Broncos. I mean, the jump they had just defensively, they are basically 30th or worse in early down defense, pass defense, run defense, overall efficiency, and they were top 3 in all of that last year. So the job by Vance Joseph and staff to have such a great defensive year, most sacks in football, 3 players with 8.5 sacks, 4 with 7+ sacks, Surtain being the DPOY. And what I'm super excited for, you bring in 2 Niner defenders who are very good. I mean, health is a question between Dre Greenlaw and Talahana Hufunga. Nailed the name. Those are 2 pieces. What I'm super excited. You have this great defense to begin with from last year, but now you add these 2 vets in who've played in a great defense in San Fran.
Make a strength even more of a strength.
Right. You iron with iron. That defense could be fantastic, especially in a division with the Chiefs and the Chargers. You need that.
There's no reason to think that they're going to, regression. Could they go from number 1 to number 4? Yeah. But there's no reason to think that they're going to get any worse unless they get bad injury luck to Pat Surtain or even Nick Bonito would really hurt, but they still have Jonathan Cooper, and they're going to be really good, and I still think they're going to be a top 4, top 3 unit. I love them, man.
Over under 9.5.
I think I'm going over.
Over, clear over from me. Our X factor: health. Stay healthy.
Sure.
Because listen, you talked about it. I don't think there's much regression for this team. Just stay healthy.
Yeah.
If we can stay healthy, we're good.
Last but not least, certainly it is the Las Vegas Raiders. 4-13. They missed the playoffs last year. 31st in offensive EPA per play, 20th in EPA per dropback, 32nd in EPA per rush. But throw all of it out the window. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
But, the defense matters because Patrick Graham is still here. 16th in defensive EPA per play, 17th in EPA per dropback.
You love yourself, Pat Graham.
15th in EPA per rush. Patrick Graham has survived. Have you noticed?
He survives all the head coaching firings?
Yeah.
Yes, I have noticed that.
Little Pat Graham lore. Joe Judge fired from the Giants. Brian Dable comes in. Brian Dable did hire him to become the defensive coordinator, but then the Brian Flores lawsuit thing comes out, and then Patrick Graham kind of quietly leaves the Giants after that. But he was going to be the defensive coordinator for the Giants for Brian Dable, and he was going to stay. And now you have previous regime leaving in Oakland, in Las Vegas, and Patrick Graham is still here. And I think that's a great thing. I think Patrick Graham deserves, I don't know, this is kind of crazy. Maybe Patrick Graham deserves a head coaching job somewhere. I think he's really good. But the Raiders, man, they bring in Pete Carroll. Chip Kelly's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And most importantly, Geno Smith comes to town. Geno Smith and Pete Carroll reunite. Geno Smith is like sneaky, quietly a very good quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Film guys love him, and I think it's for really good reason. He's not flashy. Give Geno Smith a little bit of a run game in Vegas, and let's see what happens, Dalt.
You draft Ashton Genty 6 overall. Sure, you're going to give himself a run game, right? Pete Carroll loves running the ball. We saw that with Marshawn Lynch back in his days in Seattle. My goodness, Justin Penik. And my thing with Geno Smith, I think he's like the line in terms of do you know ball or not when evaluating quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think Geno Smith, I don't think he's a top 5, top 7 guy, but like he is a very good quarterback. And I think, and I'll put my hand up, like for a long time, I couldn't get past his time with the Jets. Like I didn't like him out of West Virginia. I thought he was overdrafted. But that said, like his career turnaround from Seattle and now he's going to be going to the Raiders. Like he's done a good job reviving himself. He is a very, I would say top 12 to top, I'll say top 12 quarterback in football.
I think he's in the same breath as Dak Prescott. Whereas...
More recently, especially,
Yeah, like I just did a QB tier maker and checked that out. I put that out yesterday.
Bing bong.
Better than the decent tier. Some of the guys in the decent tier I have are Kyler, Bo Nix, Drake May, Tua, Sam Darnold, and Trevor Lawrence. Those are the quarterbacks I had in the decent tier. And then I had a CJ Stroud tier that consisted of CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, and Geno Smith.
Okay.
And then your really good tier are guys like Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy.
So that's funny because like I think it's it. I don't want to go too down this rabbit hole too much, but like Geno, Dak, Brock Purdy, and
all in the same breath.
And who is and
Jared
Goff. Those 4. I'm very curious where people rank them. If you've made it this far, comment how you rank those quarterbacks because I'm really curious because I might have a different list than you. But Geno Smith's a very good quarterback. This offense has to get better, right? Like last year.
Going to.
It has to, right?
It's going to.
Brock Bowers has a historic season out of rookie tight end. Sure, you draft Ashton Genty now. I'm excited. And one thing, Justin Penik, I don't know if you know this, Raiders lore right now, Twitter's been going nuts, X has been going nuts because of how they've been using their offense in the preseason.
Yeah, 11 personnel, right?
A lot of 11 personnel. And it was reported by one of the Raiders reporters, and I'm blanking on who said it. Very vanilla. This is Chip Kelly being very vanilla on offense on purpose. They're going to play a lot of 12 personnel. Don't worry if you have stock.
12?
Yeah. And 21. Like, they're going to mix up their personnel. It's not going to be strictly 11 personnel.
Okay. Because aren't the first half and second half splits in the preseason fascinating? Like, in the first half, they have gone, like, over 90% 11. And then in the second half, they've gone, like, 40-some percent.
Yeah, I think they're going to use a lot more of the 12 and 21. I don't know if they're going to do 21 because I don't think they have, like, a fullback anymore, but I think Mayer and Brock are going to play a lot together. Mayer being that blocking tight end, you probably slot Brock Bowers in the slot. And in the receiver room, Jacoby Myers, did you hear the news about Jacoby Myers recently? Requesting a trade. They denied it. There could be some drama there.
He's going to go to New England. Kyle Duggar.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's a rookie tweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. The fit I like for Jacoby Myers if he does get traded and it's not a pretty Ricky scoop, the Falcons. I think they could benefit from getting another receiver. Him, London Mooney, a solid 3-11 personnel.
Mark Cooper back.
Mark Cooper, that's right. 1-year deal, right?
Put him in the Ring of Honor.
Wow.
No.
Defense, get healthy again. Christian Wilkins is gone after that whole ordeal. Tyree Wilson, shaky first-round pick from 23, hasn't been great. Malcolm Koonce is coming back from the knee injury last year. Crosby's still a dog. I think this defense could be better. Pat Graham's a good DC. I think they take a step up with a healthy pass rush this year.
Yeah, a lot of new faces on that defense. Excited for the offense. Excited, for, like I said, for all 4 of these teams. They're over under 6.5, and this is over.
I think they win 7 games on the dot. I'll say over as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the under, but I just believe in Pete Carroll and Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers and all these guys enough. The defense is where I'm a little concerned still, but I think it's either they go 6-11 or 7-10. So Vegas, fantastic line.
Fantastic line.
Let's rank the teams because I have my claim.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Broncos.
Yeah.
Chargers. Raiders. But I hate predicting 2 through 4 in this division.
I hate predicting 1 through 4 because Justin Penik, I'm doing it. I'm going balls to the wall, folks. That's not even a saying. Denver Broncos are winning the AFC West. I'm saying it now. This could look really bad or it could look really worse. We're going to find out. I'm putting Broncos 1. I'm putting the Chiefs 2. Chargers 3. Raiders 4.
It could look really bad or really worse. So we'll see you for our final divisional preview. We're going to the NFC West. And we'll see you on Thursday for that. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.